All right. Hey, happy Monday. January 27th, we're in Romans chapter 1, verses 9 to 15. It reads this way: For God, whom I serve in my spirit in the preaching of the gospel of his Son, is my witness as to how unceasingly I make mention of you, always in my prayers, making request, if perhaps now at last by the will of God I may succeed in coming to you. For I long to see you in order that I may impart some spiritual gift to you, that you may be established, that is, that I may be encouraged together with you, while among you each of us by the other's faith, both yours and mine. And I do not want you to be unaware, brethren, that I have planned to come to you and have been prevented thus far, in order that I might obtain some fruit among you also, even as among the rest of the Gentiles. I am under obligation both to Greeks and to barbarians, both to the wise and to the foolish. Thus, for my part, I am eager to preach the gospel to you also who are in Rome. Well, guess what? Company's coming. Right? I mean, Paul is letting them know. Paul expresses a sincere love for the Christians in Rome. He even gives God as a witness to his love for them. He prays for them and he talks about them and their faith. And it has been and is his desire to go to Rome. Paul has understood and accepted his life's calling to be traveling and preaching the gospel. And it's interesting to trace Paul's interest and his progression to travel to other parts of the world. Paul writes the letter to the Romans in the latter chapters of the book of Acts. We can see his reference to Greece in Acts chapter 20, which is about the time most scholars believe that Paul wrote to the Romans. Paul really wanted to go to Rome. He seems to make a plan to visit. So why does Paul want to go to Rome? He wants to see them. He wants to give them some spiritual insight in order to encourage them in their faith. And he also wants to be encouraged in his own faith by their faith. The focus again of the letter to the Romans is faith to faith. A growing faith is encouraged by a visit from Paul. I mean, think about it. We're being visited by Paul 2,000 years later as we read his letter. Well, welcome, Paul. See you tomorrow.